As we're touching down on, I'm pretty sure the first Great Hall we've actually seen today, as Boomie and Snowy have a hard time picking up a weapon, but they both try to delay because they still have some work to do while they're still unarmed. Just jumping right into this, as everyone is all damaged except for Santi right there. Let's see how long they can hold on to this Kaya's speed stance. Definitely putting a pen to that, but also Sandstorm putting a cap on that. You know, weapon rotate. They knew when to throw out the weapon, and actually, what was I saying earlier? It was Santi, still the most healthy one, and now first one going to second stock. I should stop talking. But yeah, they've done a really good job at knowing the weapon cycle, knowing when to throw, knowing when to starve, knowing, you know, what to see. They know, you know, their weapons, what's good for what, when to throw, and they do this at the same time, and mostly not weapon starving the other. They've done an amazing job with the weapon cycle so far, but also blue team doing a great job of catching up, as it's mostly even. Yeah, Sandstorm's clinging on to that first stock for dear life. I don't know how much longer it might last, but however much longer it lasts is just more of a lead for red team. That Sayer's gonna take it out though, as yeah, blue team, honestly, we've seen Snowy and Santi do incredible things. Both, you know, separate, both together, both in this tournament, also just both leading up to this moment. Legends across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, Santi and Snowy are doing pretty okay against the red team right now. They're keeping things even. There's no particular lead right now for either of the teams, which is awesome to see. We do have Santi trying to do some spear combos on the red team, but he is having a difficult time really landing them. Snowy with his amethyst, and Santi comes in to try to help him out, but Boomie hitting their teammate, setting up Santi to go ahead and knock out Sandstorm, and then Snowy loses their second stock as well. So right now, red team having Boomie on their second stock, Sandstorm on their first, or the last, I'm sorry, and it's in their lead right now. Santi, he's got to be careful. He's low on that final stock. He's got to be very, very careful here going forward.
Yeah, Santi definitely needs to be very careful. It feels like Santi is having kind of a hard time finding safe engagement. Is either, and there it goes again. Santi is either, you know, rocking alive and is able to stay alive for a long time, but isn't able to get that much damage in. It feels like every single time he wants to go in, push in, he has a hard time coming out unscathed. Snowy might also be having a very hard time coming back from this unscathed, as they both launched. Was that the same sig to celebrate?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to go hop into round 2 here. And we'll have to see how it goes. And right now, Sandstorm and Boomie still with that double Thor pick. Boomie and Sandstorm are sticking a lot more close together. They're trying to do a little bit more team combos, but then Snowy comes out of the blue with a phenomenal cannon little string there onto Boomie. We have Boomie and Sandstorm just trying to keep it a little bit close. You can see that they're trying to knock Santi and Snowy in the center so they can do some type of 2v2 combo, and you're seeing really trying to go for these options here. And right now they're actually having a little bit of an issue. Snowy is a little bit in the giving the blue team a little bit of an advantage, but now since the blue team's up in the air, red team's able to really punish them. And we have Sandstorm knock out Snowy, and currently Santi gets grabbed out and knocked out there by Boomie, and red team has a lead right now.
All the more chance to come back, as currently everyone except Sandstorm is looking on red there. So next few hits could really determine whose game is. Santi missing the dare, has to go back around. What the hell? Gets the nair for the chase dodge, tries to go with the follow-up with Boomie flying up in the direction Santi, and they put an end to that so they can, you know, knock out Snowy that last stock. This is, what can be said about this? Stock's 3-1.
As we're getting into it, it looks like they're starting to catch on a little bit.
Hell?
Because we have Boomie
What
with
just
the
happened?
ground pound knockout. And the red team goes ahead and takes another point to their name. 2-0 so far. They need one more point.
You know, they're starting to prove that they still have a leg in this race.
I mean, these first stocks, both teams tend to be very even. We're seeing that right now. We're seeing more so the red team dominating on the platform, but then we're seeing Snowy and Santi really trying to go off that ledge, and they're starting to separate themselves a little bit, right? Oh, Sandstorm doing that neutral
Whoa.
boom with the dare saved their teammate from getting knocked out by the blue team. And red team right now just really controlling that platform. Sandstorm and Boomie are doing some really good work with it. Santi trying to knock out Sandstorm. Boomie accidentally hitting his teammate, but lands that sider onto Santi. Then does some damage over to Snowy. Snowy trying to come back to that platform. But both these blue team members are off the ledge.
Almost double?
Snowy with the recovery that hits both red team members and knocks Sandstorm out. Boomie gets knocked out there by Santi. Then it looks like Sandstorm knocks out Santi's first stock and then knocks out goddamn fucking Snowy's stock. It's 2 stocks all.
Although damage lead is starting to still lead a bit more in red team's favor, it's a lot more close now. It's just they're both they were both just dancing on opposite sides of the stage each other, just waiting to see what would be the best way to approach. We finally did get there as Boomie's able to get the KO and convert this into a 2v1 against Snowy. Snowy's still able to find his way. What the hell? Movement is amazing and is able to, squeeze his way around the stage and wait for it to still be a 2v2. Wait for his friend Santa to come back as game is still pretty close. I don't know how much I want to say even, but it's still very close as this Bodvar pick could very easily take this to a game 4. It's looking like it. Stocks are even.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, Snowy's been putting a lot more work in recently, though. I definitely will say that.
Oh.
It was phenomenal coming out of the red team. Right now, Snowy trying to knock out Boomie. Boomie's on a very low final stock. That'd be
what the hell?
Santi and Boomie with the double knockout on Santi. Boomie falls a little bit low off the ledge, and Snowy has a 2v1 scenario.
If Snowy, it probably shouldn't take a pen to connect the dots. If Snowy's able to knock out Boomie, can still somehow make this a 1v1 is currently actually separated them. So maybe he's able to focus on one a little bit more, but that recovery from Boomie putting Snowman in a very bad spot to follow up for the second recovery as Boomstorm secure grand finals and have a pretty good shot at taking the whole thing, but I'm getting ahead of myself. AJ, give us a quick reminder of where we're headed now.
All right, with this being said, let's see what happens going forward with this matchup. Now, keep in mind, this is a best out of 5 matchup. If Cody, Travis, and Zico win this current set, they have to win one more set to go ahead and win this tournament. It looks like right now we have Sandstorm trying to come back a little bit. We have Boomie going down to that second stock. Blue team has a 2-stock lead over the red team. All right, Boomie starting to come in against LDZ or Zico. There we go. Nice dare coming out of Cody. Nice silent, misses it. The blue team's keeping the red team very close together, which is, I guess, good for like knockout options for the blue team. As long as they're exchanging, that's all that matters. Sandstorm gets knocked out by the blue team. And Cody with the downlight side air. That's going to lead into Zico trying to do Greta gets a side light and gets the recovery. Instead, Cody gets the side air. The blue team f***ing 4-stock Boomie and Sandstorm.
I mean, you never really know. Cody might have to change his plans if this goes really well, if they're feeling really good about this. So, the thing is that red team didn't switch any characters, and they let them take them to Crystal Temple again. They didn't ban out the map, so surely they're gonna have a very different approach because they don't want to repeat a last game. They're gonna try to sway the momentum in their favor. If there's one thing that I say every single time before at grand finals is that is how many I'm trying to figure out my words, but there's so much happening. If there's one thing I say every single grand finals is that coming from loser's bracket, you have one chance to win, but coming from winner's bracket, you have 2 chances to win because of the bracket reset work. So Boomstorm must be feeling pretty good because they have a little bit of wiggle room. Zico never afraid to throw himself into the fray. We say this time and time again, at least the past hour. So as Sandstorm is actually at risk to fall right now, as Zico just barely grabbing the ledge, but just for that to get stomped out by Boomie, Cody in just barely manages to make it so it's not actually a 2v1 Cody and Sandstorm. This is just like a ones tournament at this point. As Cody very good at throwing Sandstorm in uncomfortable situations. Oh, the Sair!
I don't know. I don't know if that's the double pick that they are using when it comes down to tournament now. I don't know. I think they go. I've seen like Sandstorm's last resort. I've seen be Mordex. I haven't seen him pull it out a lot though.
I mean, do they? I mean, Sandstorm and Boomie, they have a bunch of different things that they've played in and out. I feel like it's just really what's ever in season. I don't know. The double Thor might just be what's in season, and this is a really fair match because it's also what they did for the tournament. And that little pass off, that was also something that they were also really good at during Autumns. Because keep in mind, they did this during Autumns too. So I don't know. Maybe this could just be what's in season for them. They've gone through a bunch of different mashups.
Man, nice dare down light by Cody. Oh, but the Sandstorm and Boomie do a two-piece on the Cody Travis. Oh, and Zico gets launched off the ledge. And Boomie trying to go ahead and hold that ledge to his name right now. Silent neutral stick comes into play, and Zico loses that second stock, and Cody's dealing with these 2v1s. Oh, and Sandstorm knocks out Cody. Boomie going with that hammer ground pound. Zico is out unless Cody comes in. He comes in.
Cody for the save, but it's...
They read it, man.
Oh my god! Cody's still able to switch his attention quite well. You think he's going over one, but nah. Complete 180 goes over to the other. But, oh, that has to be the end of that. Still kind of feels like that we might go the entire grand finals just with this cast. I don't know. I feel like it's really just a game about maps. And you can see them really trying to do the math and think through where they want to go. You know, where they want to be. Where they want to take their opponents. And we decide, platforms. Let's try platforms. So, with that being said, let's try some platforms at Great Hall.
Side air by Cody. Nice side air. Oh!
Oh!
What? No, he
Zico! And he's still going. He's trying to get the stock off of Boomie.
Oh my god.
This game, results of this game could either be, you know, 2-2 taking us to game 5, or it could be a bracket reset. So only time will tell, as stocks are still just barely in red team's advantage. That might fall through a little bit, might have to go and smoke depending on how Boomie decides to play the next few seconds. Oh, but the read, it's still not enough. Boomie's still rocking, not even a weapon fly out of his hands, but it's the Sair that ends up taking him down.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, I mean, blue team's having a really, I think they're not being as aggressive as they once were. And they're sitting in center middle by themselves. They're still needs like a light attacks here and there with Axe, but they're having, like, they're just sitting there. And Boomie and Sandstorm are really starting to be that aggressive type. So that might be a thing that blue team might want to try to avoid next game. But right now, Zico gets knocked out of the final stock. Cody almost gets knocked out. Sandstorm with the gets a down like ground pound. Boomie with the stomp side air.
Game 5!
The red team gets another point to their name.
So, blue team definitely fighting for their life as we're touching down on Apocalypse. We don't know if this is going to be a fitting end, if it goes up in smoke like the town right behind them, or if they're able to just barely squeeze this through to a reset. Damn, Thor Sig sends. Like, they're quite powerful. I know, you know, you have a right to not like them, but damn, if they don't send. But also, so to stop Sair send. I mean, red team with a pretty good lead right now, but depending on how blue team plays this, because you know that they're still close behind, they could still bring this for themselves. We've seen people come back from worse. Comes back before Sandstorm falling down to second stock. So, oh, Sandstorm not wasting a lot of time to come back in, but chooses not to chase that second Sair. Sandstorm holding the Sig and gets the spike down as in the position to really take this. Blue team could be on tournament stock right now, but we've seen people come back from worse. We've seen people neutralize worse. They could still, the dream could still be here, as they just need to, you know, get a few good hits that they need to. See how far they fly from every single hit. They're so close to balancing out stocks.
All right.
Oh, they've separated them. They're separating them. Stocks balanced out, although slight, damage difference. It is still so even. This is going to come down to a nail biter. Boomie, very interesting, unarmed plays right there. As blue team definitely starting to, reconvene, having very good chances to try to stay together and not get separated as much. Damage starting to build up.
Oh, Cody. Oh, Cody's still alive.
Cody, wait, Boomie for the recovery, able to get back on stage. Oh no. Oh no, in the very dangerous 2v1.
All right, can you do this?
Oh, reads for the sig! The read!
That was an awesome finish coming out of Moist, Boomie, and Sandstorm against Cody, Travis, and Zico, man. Oh my god.